Same with Michael, good to see you. Crux, welcome in. And Trev, where's the fancy cooking? All you see is a clock. It's the ultimate countdown. What do you think? Sometimes you're not always here on time though, so that's what you get. How was everyone's week so far? I will say I have like a raging headache right here and like behind my eyeball today. So if I'm a little bit like quieter, less energy, that's why. We're battling demons in the head. That's why I have the lights turned down a little bit too. I'd never usually get headaches, so this one's a weird one. I even took an Advil and it just did not help. Don't know what's happening. Well, actually, I do know what's happening. I'm detoxing off of cannabis right now. And same with coffee. I'm not drinking coffee either. So it's just a whole thing that my body's going through. But we got this, guys. Yeah, Bob, you get tension headaches? I typically don't, but when I do get a headache, it's always right between this eyeball. It's just like, oh my goodness. Punch yourself in the head a little bit. But we'll make it through. We gotta cook lunch anyways. And I got a really good deal on a pork loin this morning, so that's what we're gonna cook. The menu is this. Pork loin roast stuffed with feta, spinach, and garlic. And to go with that, we're gonna make fondant potatoes, which honestly just sound fancy, but they are so simple to make. So I linked a recipe for that today. And I thought it would look really nice on the plate if we made a carrot puree. And the carrots from the farm have been really good lately. And I picked up some more organic carrots today because I didn't have to go to the farmer's market this week. And then to prep tomorrow's dessert, we have to mix up our sourdough cinnamon rolls just so that they can proof in the fridge overnight, and that will give you the best product the next day. I'm really excited to try these as well. I've never made sourdough cinnamon rolls. And like, is there anything better on the weekend to make than that? I'm gonna bring some to my friend tomorrow too. We're gonna hang out after stream. Oh, for sure. And it's not even like I drink a lot of coffee, Michael. I'll have like one coffee a day, maybe. The last time I had an espresso shot was Tuesday. And I'm just trying to do one coffee once a week on Tuesdays. It seems to be the best that day. But yeah, I'm putting myself through the ringer. It's okay, guys. We got this. I'm like seriously feeling really good though at the same time. So yeah, there's that, right? Here are the recipes that I linked. They all look really good. So I would suggest saving them for yourself or just going into Discord and trying them out. I know Mish already printed off the feta one, and I will pop them up for myself as well. What else did I get up to this week? I did a couple little grocery store trips. My Costco trip, I only got a couple things. I got eggs, butter, and oh, my 2 olive oils. My 2-pack of olive oils that I always usually get, guys. They're typically $18.99. I went this week, it was $28.99. I almost like freaked out in the store. And then it was like kind of sad when I went to go pay for my groceries. This mom like seriously couldn't pay for her cart full of food. She tried every single credit card and it all got declined. Like I just had to zoom out of there before I started crying. Like, what are we gonna do? Side squatch. That's kind of like a Sasquatch, but it's on the side. Thanks for the follow. Welcome in, guys. And yesterday I actually had a really nice adventure to grab our ingredients for Sunday's stream to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I took a walk down to the Mexican market. I think it's only like 20 minutes. A little 20-minute walk. It was really nice yesterday with a backpack. I got jalapenos, limes, some onions that were really inexpensive there, as well as I got a tamale for lunch that was so good. And yeah, just did a quick little grocery shop to finish at the box store this morning, and we're good to go, guys. And like when I bring this pork loin out of the fridge, like I don't even know what to say. It's the biggest thing ever. I thought I was gonna be buying like a little chunk of pork roast like this because I just saw the sale on the flyer. No, it's like an entire pork loin. At first I was like, where am I gonna put all this? Am I gonna eat this? And I was like, wait, Sam will eat this, it's fine. So let's get into it. We'll make a little prep list stuff and away we go. I have noticed I've been like eating a lot more kind of pork and chicken lately because that is obviously less expensive than beef, but still at least once a week or one meal a week with leftovers, I try to make beef just so that you keep your iron up and stuff like that. And I think I would go through with Jaws. Like being born in Alberta is where we produce a lot of beef for Canada. I would go insane if I didn't have that in my life. Okay, so first things first, why don't we get into the pork loin? Write that down. We'll have to butcher it a little bit. I have my knife back there already. Holy! 4 months already, dude. And like, since you have found this stream, you've basically been here every day. So thank you so much for being part of the community, Michael. All of your screenshots that you post in Discord, I appreciate you, dude. All right, we'll say butcher the pork loin. And then for what we are gonna use today, we are going to do something that's called butterflying the pork, which that will let us roll the filling into it, and we'll tie it with butcher's twine. I'll show you how to do that before we roast it. So yeah, if you've ever like eyed up those stuffed roasts at the grocery store or the butcher shop, you will learn how to make it yourself today because you save a lot of money when you don't have to pay the butcher to do the labor for you. We'll butterfly that and get it ready, and then we will have to prep our filling a little bit for the pork because we have to cook the spinach just so it doesn't go super watery. But the nice thing I find about using feta to stuff inside of meat is that it doesn't have like a low melting point, so it doesn't just ooze out of the meat as it bakes. It all kind of stays inside of there, which is awesome because I always get so sad. You take all that time to like stuff the cheese and stuff in it, and then you bake it, and then it all just comes out. So our filling, we just have to cook the spinach really. Maybe we'll throw some like onion in there with the garlic because we can, and then mix in the feta once it's cooled off. You don't want to be putting warm or hot filling into your meat. That is just a no-no from like a food safety standpoint. We don't want to be doing that. Okay, so then after we have our filling, we will stuff, roll, and tie the roast. And we'll also have to season the outside of the pork. We'll season a little bit on the inside before we roll it, and then we'll probably just use a yummy, one of my pork rubs to put on the outside before it roasts. You don't want to forget to season it because then it will be just really bland, right? Okay, so that's kind of the hard part of stream, and I would say the rest of the meal is quite simple. Our fondant potatoes, I don't know if anyone has looked at that recipe yet, but basically what these potatoes are is you cut them into like 1 inch or 1.5 inch thick pieces in rounds. So you'll have like all these little potato rounds that are all the same thickness. And then we are gonna do this mixture of butter and stock into a frying pan. You just arrange all your potatoes, and then they bake in the oven. And then as it bakes, it absorbs the butter and the stock, and it just gets like insanely crispy on the outside and like mashed potato on the inside. Another thing that would be really expensive to get at a restaurant, but so cheap to do it yourself. So I'll say cut, make the broth. I made a lot of chicken broth this week. I think I have about 3 liters worth. So we'll use some of that for sure. There's some herbs in there. and then obviously bake. Let me just look at the temp and timings that we need for everything today. What does it say on this roast? The recipe for the roast seriously looks so good. Okay, they say start the roast quite high heat, right? So that we sear the outside of the pork, get it nice and caramelized. So 475 F to start. And then it says do that for about 20 minutes, which I think is a great timing for that. And then after that, we turn the oven down to, they say 325. I might go even a little bit lower than that, like 300. Just so that we don't cook out all the juices. And then it says for another 30 to 40 minutes. And I really like what they said in this for the thermometer temp. They said take the roast out at 145 Fahrenheit, which is more a medium cook, right? So that it keeps all those juices in there. It might be a little bit pink on the inside. Why sear in the oven instead of on top? I mean, there's not really a difference. Just doing it in the oven is cleaner in my mind, and then you don't have to actually use fat. Depending on how like lean your pork is, right? Mine looked like it had a really nice fat cap on it, which I'm not gonna trim off. But if your pork loin, because a lot of times they can be leaner, it doesn't have as much fat, maybe sear it in the pan with some fat, just so that it doesn't dry out on the outside too much. Good question, Trev. So about total time, because we'll also have to let this roast rest after it comes out of the oven, it'll be about an hour total. So definitely leave yourself that amount of time. I'm gonna say the fondant potatoes will probably be about half that time. So just don't forget to start your roast a little bit earlier. Otherwise you'll be waiting, and I hate that. Okay, so sorry, first we have to brown the potatoes. Then we add the broth, and then we bake them, and you like baste the potatoes once with the butter broth halfway through. Yeah, bake for 30 minutes until it's tender, and then you baste at the 15-minute mark. That is very simple. Do they say the temperature of the oven? I need to scroll down to the actual recipe here. Okay, so around 400 Fahrenheit as well. It might take a bit longer if we are cooking it at the same time as the roast. That's going to be at a lower temperature, right? So I would say give yourself more like 45 minutes on those potatoes if you're going to cook it with the roast. White Dove, how are you doing today? Happy Friday. Welcome. It'll soak up the butter broth. Like, they're seriously so good, guys. I haven't done these in a long, long time. Hi, Greek. Welcome in. Okay, and then lastly, our carrot puree. And I like the recipe for the carrot puree, but as I was trying to look at it, it kept having all these pop-ups that was like making me mad. But the recipe itself is really good. Just don't mind the web page. I'm sorry. You're here but not here yet. Greeks lurking? Okay, we'll be here whenever you are ready. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna use 1 pound of carrots to make carrot puree. I'm only planning to make like maybe a cup worth of it. Max 2 cups. Max 2 cups of it. So you just need carrots. They use water. I might use stock just because it'll make it taste yummier, right? So just boil your carrots in the water, and then you reserve your stock or your water and blend it in a blender with some butter. Pour your stock in until it's the right consistency, and then just finish with a little bit of lemon juice to brighten up the flavor at the end. You can't get your family into pork. We were actually talking about that this morning. I was chatting with Samo just a little bit when he had some time. And I told him about the massive pork loin that I got. And he said if he could eat one meat the rest of his life, it actually would be pork. And that's like very German of him to say, right? Because he grew up there. And yeah, the pork in Germany is nothing like the pork actually here that you get at the grocery store. Trev, have you tried getting them onto like pork straight from the farm? Because I find that the farm pork tastes a lot nuttier and doesn't have that kind of weird sort of porky funk that you can sometimes get with the grocery store stuff. How did this even happen, Trev? You've been cooking them so much different good stuff. I'm sad for you. I'm sad for you, dude. Okay, I'm just gonna write carrot puree at the end. And then maybe if we get our carrot puree done early, we can mix our sourdough cinnamon roll while it's going. I don't know why, but every time I leave mixing the dough to the end of stream, I never feel like doing it. I'm always just like, okay, see you tomorrow. You used to order pork from the farm and the kids love real pork hot dogs. That's the only exception. Well, hopefully their taste changed again, right? Hopefully that's not a forever thing. Because I would be sad. Plus, like, pork is a pretty cheap protein. Alright, I'm gonna switch up this view. I have to go grab the massive cutting board for our massive pork loin. And just back here, if you guys were wondering, I'm just thawing our chicken for Sunday's chicken tortilla soup. We got 2 chicken breasts, 2 chicken legs, and then our tri-tip. We're gonna grind this up again, or at least grind some of it up for tomorrow's meal. And that's a recipe redemption as well. Okay, let's do this. The biggest cutting board of life. Just making sure it's actually good. Okay, we're good. Boom. Maybe I'll back this up a bit just because it looks weird. Hi, Blood Oak. How are you feeling this week? Oh, also, guys, look at my really nice carrots I actually got from the store. At first, I was like, okay, how much are this bunch of organic carrots gonna cost me, right? What do you guys think I spent on this bunch of organic carrots? I was actually pretty surprised at the price. You're rotting? No. Look at this pork loin, by the way. It literally is the whole length of the cutting board. Okay, no one answered my carrot question. This was only $3.99 at the store. Only $3.99. Not as good as the farmer's market price, but close. Have I cooked any Indian food before? Oh yeah, I love Indian food a lot. I think I actually just uploaded on my YouTube a past VOD from when I cooked Indian food. It was palak paneer, we made jeera rice and some papadums to go with it. But I've also made butter chicken before on stream. I think we've also made a lamb vindaloo. We've done lots and lots. Okay, so this is my pork that I got today. 1 whole pork loin. I will say where it's sourced from. It's Thunder Creek pork. Some really good pork in the province. So I was happy to see that, not just like, oh, it's an American product, because that can sometimes happen here, even in Canada. So here's the price. 1 whole boneless pork loin, 4.2 kgs. So just price per pound for you guys in the States, it was $2.99 a pound, which I was like, I'm not passing that up. And then it was, yeah, 32 bucks for all of this. Just for a comparison, yesterday when I was at Costco, I noticed they have the 3 packs of chickens now for $34. But those have bones and everything in them, right? So you're definitely not gonna get nearly as much protein from the chickens compared to if you got the pork. So I really liked that comparison. White Dove, thank you very much for the 1,500 bits first thing. Holy smokies. I appreciate you. And yeah, you have so many Indian spices. Okay, I think I gotta turn this one up just while we butcher because it's a little dark. Oh, Coke, your eye got infected? Ah, you're scaring me because I have a massive headache right behind my eyeball right now. But that's probably just because you had a cold, right? Wow, you've been coughing for 6 weeks? Dude, I'm sad for you. I hope this, like, the new meds work. Let's do a little touch up on this since I was butchering chickens the other day. Yeah, send in some healing vibes to Blood Oak for sure. All right, I'm gonna open this kind of over the sink just because it's pretty juicy. And then obviously we'll cut off what we need. And then I'll just put the rest in a container, which I'll grab first right now. Did the camera just go blurry? That was weird. And then after stream, I'll just vacuum seal and freeze the extras. The best way to heal is to stay away from people. It's kind of true, though. Your eye looks like you've been smoking herb for days straight. But have you, though? No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. Wait, what are you cooking up? 9 pounds of ground beef? You're crazy, Michael. How many pounds even is this? Hey. I think it's like 10 pounds. Hey Siri, how many pounds is 4.238 kilos? Oh, she wasn't listening. Hey Siri, how many pounds is 4.2 kilograms? Yeah, 9.26 pounds. So me and Michael are cooking up the same amount of meat. Oh my gosh. R. Wester, good to see you. The coughing for 6-week virus, your coworkers got it? So that's like something that's going around? Hello, do you want me to beat him up? Actually I could have used that today at the grocery store. It's like, what is with dudes just like striking up conversations with young women? And it's not like young dudes, it's like old ass dudes. I just like seen him looking at me in the store. And I was like, can I help you? And he's like, hi, good morning. I was like, good morning. And I just like gave him a weird look and like walked away. I could have used you this morning. But I do like the store that I go to because there's always a security guard around. So if there is anything weird that happens, I'll just yell. He just wasn't polite. It was just like a weird vibes. You know when someone's staring at you in the weird way? I don't know if guys will understand this because like they don't deal with what girls deal with. But yeah, I wasn't having it at 7:15 in the morning. Hi, Dusty. You're heading to the mountains for a few days. I hope you have a wonderful time there, dude. And please feel free to post photos if you take any. I'll be living vicariously through you, okay? Yes, I keep forgetting to do that because I always see it on TikTok. Okay, what side do we want? I think we want this end where there's like a nice fat cap on it. That's what I'm thinking, guys. We'll like chunk off maybe that because it'll shrink a little bit when it cooks. But I don't need to cook like a ton of this for myself. But yeah, I always see on TikTok when you just like do the creepy ass stare back at them. Or the doll eye where you just like do the weird ass blink. I keep forgetting and I just open my mouth instead. Hello, Suzanne likes cake. He wouldn't do that with Sam around. Not even ever. I never get bugged when I go out with Sam. Why do you think I walk around with coyote spray all the time? Look how good that looks actually. A little bit of the thinner side too, right? Because it gets larger as we go this way. Okay, so I like to use kind of the thicker side for pork chops, and then we'll probably cut just a couple roasts as well to pack up when Samo's back. This is a huge ass pork loin. Like, luckily I had to take out the tri-tip and the chicken from the freezer. That's the only way I was able to buy it. So I was like, well, where else am I gonna put it, right? It was funny. The debate in the store with my own self. Look how good it looks too. That's why I saved this end for pork chops. Because you start getting some of the dark meat in there. That's so true, Michael. It's so true. I don't even get like worried about it anymore. It's just annoying that you can't just like go somewhere in peace. That's really how I feel. Okay, so we're gonna cut these pretty dang thick. If I do this, you can just do like a little mark with your knife, but you don't have to cut it. Maybe do 3. Yes. That way, because I know Sam always likes 2 pork chops, and then I could just have 1. So we'll get 6 pork chops and 3 roasts for $32. I don't know how much it would cost if you got like a pork medallion stuffed from a restaurant. Yeah, use one of those chunks to grind, mix in with some of the tri-tip to make meatballs. Yes, please. Probably should use a scimitar when you're cutting chops like this, but my knife is really sharp, so I'm not too worried. That's gonna be insane. I can't wait to actually cook that for Sam when he's back. The Dutch judging stare is different. Your mouth will form a hard stripe. You look them up and down as if you're judging their every decision. So that's what I have to do then. I have to be more Dutch. Got it. One more. My mouth's like watering. I just want to throw this in the pan right now. Call it a day. Right, pack that away. The Dutch Karens have it to a T. I'll be a Karen, I don't even care. You guys are the best, by the way. Thanks for like having my back. So that's a full pork. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna put that away once my hands are cleaned. So I actually can feel a little bit of like Sometimes when they butcher, you can feel bone fragments. I'm just gonna give this a quick rinse under cold water. And then we'll butterfly it. And one of the hard parts of stream is already done. That was so much meat for $32. There was even a bigger one for $34, but I was like, I just can't. Quickest way to get away from people is to be obnoxiously polite. It doesn't work in Canada because like a lot of people are already polite. So we're gonna flip this over. And I might actually need to switch to my scimitar now. Maybe not. I'll show you how to do it without it because I know a lot of people don't have a scimitar at home. I'm not gonna worry about cleaning this little bit of connective tissue off. I'd like to leave that untouched and let it just naturally render out when we roast. You're having pork today too? I know I told Sam the pork I got and he just started listing off all the things he wants to eat from it. Katsudon pork schnitzel. Yes, please. Okay, so there's kind of like a chain here. You can see that, right? That is similar to like the chain that you would see on a strip loin and stuff. A lot of people will cut that off, but that's exactly where we're going to start butterflying into our pork. Make a slice like that. That was about like ½ inch thick. Now I'm gonna turn it this way because I'm gonna start to open it up, almost like a book. Going a little bit lower. Okay. And now we're gonna kind of cut across, right? Think of how a butterfly opens its wings. And you want to keep the meat nice and even as you're doing this as well. You don't want it to get too thin. And honestly, it's okay if there's like a couple lines like that. You're not going to notice it. And I think to open this up, just to get in the center here, we're just going to do one last slice. Like that. Make sure you don't go through. If I hold that now, you can kind of see it's a little thin there. I kind of effed it up a bit. But if I show you this side, that's how it's gonna look. And then we'll put all of the feta spinach mixture in and then roll it back up. And you'll see how it'll be rolled nice and round like that. Ta-da! Okay. Going to wash my hands. I should have grabbed a container for this. I guess I can just keep that in this other bin for now and get rid of this. We don't have a sink big enough to even wash this cutting board anymore. So I'll have to wash it in the tub. Back to, if anyone's been here a long ass time, we used to say shower dishes until we bought a really big sink on stream. Hi to Bear, how's it going? So your ground beef vlog 9 pounds was also, or close to the same amount. You got a good deal then. The ground beef here is so dang expensive. Yeah, almost like a chicken cordon bleu. Yum, that sounds good actually right now. It's funny, right, Blood Oak? When I do a feta thing and Mish isn't here. But she did let us know that she was gonna be away. Okay, now we're gonna make our filling for that. Just pop all that in the fridge for now. Spinach. I haven't even looked at this bag of spinach since last time we used it. So let's discover what's happening in there. And then get our garlic. Our heirloom Spanish garlic, which I'm obsessed with still. Maybe a little onion to fry, because that always adds some nice sweetness. Yes, that's right. Michael's in charge of spamming feta, but like, look at this garlic, guys. It was called Rojo or Rouge something or other. Bonk looked it up. We are using all of this because I'm sure, yeah, see, we're gonna probably get rid of a little bit of it. It just kind of naturally happens. But the fact that this has stayed in the fridge for over a week now is actually quite impressive. Because if this was just like one of those little clamshells of baby spinach, I think it would have been soggy a long time ago already. Just pick out any of the leaves that you don't want to eat. Most of it is still really nice. Heck, I think we actually might save some of it. There's so much still. Okay. Roja. That was what it was, right, Bob? Thank you. That was the tamale I got yesterday, too. It was a spicy pork roja. Holy. I had to actually have a glass of milk with it because it was so spicy. It was giving me hiccups. It was so delicious, though. That was my treat for walking to the Mexican market. Put the rest of that back. Has anyone here ever done a stuffed pork loin or even tenderloin? Was the other recipes that I could find? Or had it before? See what saved the spinach, by the way? I don't really use paper towel ever now, but I always have like clean dishcloths around. So whenever you put your vegetables in the fridge from the store, always pack them with a towel just to help control the moisture, because it's the moisture that will make it go bad quicker. You're southern, so most of your pork is pulled, chops, or chicken fried. But yeah, sometimes you could have something fancier like what I'm making today. You had the bulldog cheese ramen? Don't have too much of that, Kay, because I've seen some bad stuff on TikTok. People like had to go to the hospital because they ate so much of that ramen it gave them like gastritis. But I've always wanted to try it. You could be a dragon. Oh my gosh, Oak Oak. I've been kind of on a spice kick this whole week. I've also been using a hot sauce from one of our community members. If you guys know Eric's Meh, he sent us a bunch of his fermented hot sauces like a couple years back now. And because they're fermented, they stay a long time, right? So I've been eating that. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, I'm gonna trim the ends of this, but I think we should be able to use a lot of the stem still. I don't like to throw it out. And it's nice and crunchy, so usually I'll just kind of bunch this up. Oh, there's another bad leaf. That might still happen as we go through it. That's okay. Line up the stems, and then we'll trim it. You only had one pack of the ramen. It's always out of stock in the store here. People are going crazy for it. Yeah, the name, right? Caretaker Shrek Water. So cute. Michael, thank you very much. Gifting the sub to someone who's been here before. We know them. The Bear Fan. Welcome back to the kitchen crew, my friend. Okay, the rest of these stems aren't even bad, so I'm gonna leave it. Boom. And this is one thing I think we can talk about, is I've kind of switched how I shop and prepare my food recently just to try and save money, right? And I think it's actually quite easy to save money on food. It just takes a little bit more effort, right? Like I could have easily went and got the spinach that's already trimmed and washed for me and pay probably over double the price of what I paid for this. But I've really gotten to the point where I'll just take my time to prep it, because there's no way that I'm gonna like line someone else's pockets anymore. So I'm gonna cut the stem part into around 1 inch thick pieces, and maybe actually the rest of it too. Gochugaru and gochujang. I always have a little pack of gochujang in the fridge. It's not even like I use it that often, but it stays for a long time. This seems like it'll be a good amount of spinach. We all know that it's gonna basically shrink down to nothing. Let's just pop that in a container. I kind of want to... Nah, we'll wash it first. I'm going to pop it in a container with water first. And then just get another small container to put the onion and garlic in. Yeah, this will shrink down to like nothing. So we'll just give this a little soak and a swish in some cold water. Don't be lazy, wash your vegetables. Heard it here first. You really don't like spinach, Suki. Is there other greens that you like in place of spinach? Have you ever tried mustard greens or anything like that? I know like kale is not one to suggest because most people hate kale. That's what a tablespoon of spinach looks like before it's cooked. Guys. You don't like any greens. What could you use in place of it? I guess nothing really. Do something like peppers or something instead. Or just do feta and garlic and call it a day. I'm just gonna get a towel to dry this off a bit. Choose the green towel for the green spinach. Actually, that might be good. Like broccoli and cheese stuffed. I could see that actually being pretty yummy. I don't mind the little bit of water on this because it'll help the spinach steam up a bit in the pan when we go to cook it with everything for the filling. But we don't need it soaking in the water. Yeah, actually, my mind was blown the first time that one of my mentors made me a warm spinach salad. I had never had that before. I was really obsessed with it for a week or two. But yeah, even just herbs. Little basil and parsley. That'd be good too. It made the water a little green. And then usually I just do this and give it a little pat. And then I'll just pick up the whole thing and put it by the stove. Now, get a little bit of onion. Got really excited when I saw these onions at the Mexican market. They looked nicer than like any onion that I've got in the store recently here. And it was less than $2 for 2 onions, whereas in the grocery store I've been paying $3 for 1 onion. Let's only use, like, I'm not even gonna use half of this, I don't think. Maybe a third. But we'll peel that one off too, because it's gonna be like kind of dry and weird to cut. Peel our garlic at the same time. Smashing it just helps open up the skin. Makes it easier to peel. I think we'll just slice this garlic. Keep it nice and chunky. Some of them have a little boo-boo on it though. Not that it looks like rotten, just maybe a bit dried out. I don't know. That's okay. Hi, Mickey. How's your week? How's Pupper? Pupper Pup. Holy, 42 months, dude. Half a year more? And that's 4 whole years together. Or sorry, half a year more. Yeah, I said that, right? Or did I say half a month? Sometimes I forget what I say. He kept crying. Oh, because you did the test of leaving him alone, right? Okay, slice these up. We're almost there, Mickey. 6 more months and you're at 4 years, dude. You went in to see him. He probably pretended like he wasn't crying when you went in. Dogs are so funny like that. Hey, at least he was crying to be let outside instead of making a mess elsewhere. That's actually really smart of him. That's gonna be a good puppers, I think. I actually saw one of my cousins, who's a farmer, posted on their Facebook that they're selling Anatolian shepherds for the farm for like 800 bucks. That's a massive animal and like a working farm dog. But holy shit, are they cute. So I'm just doing a nice small dice on the onion so it kind of melts into everything, not big chunks of it. Been buying onions in bulk from Sam's Club. For, what, 60 cents? For a 6-pound bag? What? Something went wrong there with the pricing. Yeah, sometimes you can't beat the box stores. Actually, I'm gonna take this part out where it's the root. I don't like cooking that part. It just stays hard. I think here in Canada, I might be wrong, but I think the Sam's Club is part of the like big grocery boycott that we're all doing. I've also never went in there before, but there is one here. Mickey, standing out in the garden in your boxers? You never know, the neighbors might have seen. Right, Blood Oak? The Anatolian Shepherd. I was like, holy shit. And they're all males too, there's no females. The onion's not making me cry, I swear. I'm just so happy to be here. Very fresh and juicy onion though, I will say. Like, look at me, I'm destroyed. That onion just destroyed me. Okay, I'm gonna do a little wash up. And then we'll go over and cook that up. I'm dead, Michael. Help. Maybe crying will make my headache go away. It's the onions, I swear. Wipe the onion flavor and juices off. I'll just pack that up real quick before we go over there. There's a full moon incoming? Wait, didn't we just finish the full moon? Am I wrong? There's another one already? Okay. Oh, you're the full moon in the backyard. I like it. Yeah, that's me. Jokes right over my head. Hey, it happens to the best of us. Feta and spinach stuffed pork. Is this a Greek meal? Hey, don't do that today, camera. I'm gonna speak nice to it first. Please don't flash like that. Not a Greek meal, I would say. I don't even know if it's like, we can call it Mediterranean with the other things I put with it, maybe? I just had these things to use up in the fridge. So that's really why we're cooking it today. I think this medium-sized pot will be good. I'm trying to think about all of the pots and pans that I'll be using. I gotta save the other frying pan for the potatoes. Let's raise you guys up a little bit now. You had souvlaki. Was it chicken? The onion made my nose run now too. Okay, turn this on. We'll just put a little bit of fat in there, whatever you desire. Should I do butter? I think I just want to do some olive oil. Actually, heck that. Olive oil is too expensive. Let's just use some lard. So yeah, because I spent $10 more than last time on the same olive oil, I didn't end up picking up avocado oil this week. I was like, there's no way. Okay, while that's melting, I'm just gonna go blow my nose really quick. Be right back. Okay, I'm here. Is everyone seeing the prices rising? I did this week, hippie. I was saying that it went up $10 for the 2-pack compared to last time I bought it. Nutso. Have we seen the new anxiety character from Inside Out 2? No, I don't even think I watched the first one of that movie, actually. Okay, so we're gonna start with the onion and garlic first, and then put the spinach in at the end. Nice little sizzle. And why don't we put some seasoning in here as well? Keep in mind that the feta is a little bit salty, right? That's gonna be mixed into here. So don't go too crazy on the salt just yet. You can always add more once the filling is completely together before you put it in the pork. It looks like a red Fraggle drank way too much Red Bull. What's a Fraggle? I've never heard of that word before. Holy, this smells good already. Still making me cry a bit. Oh, no. See, like, so many movie and show references are lost on me because I've just never been, like, a TV or movie sort of kid. I didn't even really watch Sesame Street or anything when I was young. I know, it's weird. I played a lot outside. Was a crazy bike riding kiddo. I never had a childhood? That's not really nice to say to someone online. I think we all had different childhoods. But let's carry on. Fraggle Rock live action sequence is being filmed in Calgary. That's interesting. Have you seen it going on? This is frying up so good. So we'll go until it's just starting to turn golden brown. While that's going, I am going to go grab our butcher's twine, so we will need that. Then I'll grab another cutting board as well. Very cool, caretaker. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know none of those words or anything that you guys are saying, but that is okay. Please feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Right over my head. Okay, and then we'll also want some kitchen shears to cut the twine. And always spread it back out after you stir. I'm going to grab the seasoning for the pork. Oko, it's over your head too, and you're quite a tall guy. Please. Is this where we start Feral Friday? You guys saw the meme I posted in Discord. It was too perfect. If anyone's watched the show The Beast, it's about restaurants. Showed up on my Instagram and I had to post it in Discord. Okay, it's starting to turn golden brown a bit, but we can still cook the onion a little bit more until it's softer. Because the spinach is seriously going to take like 2 minutes maybe. And we do actually want a lid so that the spinach can steam down a little bit. I gotta put an Annie command in chat for that one as well. We're almost at 400. She'd be proud of us, I think. Do not let the garlic burn. It's against the rules. I felt like I put so much fat in there and it already soaked it all up. What do I got? Anything left in this bottle? I had it sitting on its side. No, we actually did clear it out. Okay. Awesome. And the occasional dad joke on your Instagram, that's cute. Mine is like all sorts of things. But I really don't follow that many people now. Drop the spinach in. And we'll just give that a stir so that the onion and garlic don't sit on the bottom of the pot. And it'll kind of cool it down. Put the lid on. You're in Giant Tiger yesterday looking around, you saw Pokemon Squishmallows. It would be really fun to go into a room just full of Squishmallows. I will say that. I always eye them up. I used to be a massive, like, Beanie Baby collector. PY Beanie Babies. I had them all the way up until we moved from the island, actually. And then I gave my massive collection to my friend. Because she had 2 little girls that are the sweetest that, like, watch the stream and stuff. So I made sure that my Beanie Babies went to a great home. So we are just cooking out the moisture from the spinach right now. Now that it's cooked down, we'll take the lid off to let the moisture out of the pot. Otherwise, your filling, when you go to cook the pork with the filling, it can get really watery and just kind of fall out. They're expensive, the Squishmallows. Yeah, I wouldn't even know, right? I'd look at the price and I'd be like, nah, I'll buy food. We're probably gonna chop this up a little bit more once it's cooked. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. Let's grab a bowl though. They're $30? See, like that's basically what my pork loin costs, and I got so many meals out of that. Nice, Mickey. A bank holiday. I love Europe for their bank holidays. Okay, now it's smelling like it's starting to get caramelized. Let's come on over. Could you imagine dropping $300 on a Lego? I guess I have an issue, don't I? Actually, I'm not the one that buys all the Legos, straight up. I'll accept them, but I never buy them. I am not the purchaser in the household. Michael, your Instagram has like spiders and lizards and stuff. Sometimes those show up on my feed. I'm gonna blame you. Okay, that's everyone's 1 tablespoon of spinach they were waiting for, right? I'm just gonna put this pot in the sink. Give it a little spritz. Right, Blood Oak? Do not go in my closet. Okay, while this is cooling, because we don't want to mix the feta in right away, also I'm gonna like push it up on the sides of the bowl to spread out the surface area to cool quicker. Or you could put it on a sheet pan, right? Let's get the pork out and we'll season the outside. And then we can crumble up the feta. Hi, Editas. How are you doing? Happy Friday to you too. We made it. Boom. Mickey. Can't believe I got fired from the calendar factory. All I did was take a day off. You can't. Now that calendar's messed up. I think I'll use some tongs to get this guy seasoned so I don't have to keep washing my hands. It's annoying. You're making art, munching on homemade peanut butter cookies. Had a hankering for those lately. Peanut butter cookies with chocolate chip. Just like chocolate chunks. I think I might have to make some more of those sourdough cookies soon. No, we don't have a long weekend here. We don't get no bank holiday like Mickey has. Do I need to like put something on here to adhere the spice? You're eating a Reese's, O. Henry? That's peanut butter chocolate right there then. I think we'll be okay without adhering. We can always just do a test. This is our pork rub, guys. You've seen it a billion times before, but we'll go over it again just for anyone that might be new. It is equal parts salt and cracked pepper. And then in like third ratios, I do granulated garlic, paprika, and coriander. Victoria Day on the 17th. Nice, so Samo's gonna get a good holiday while he's up at work then. Not that he gets a day off, but they get like double time and a half or something. It's crazy. Okay, I went pretty heavy on the top, and I'm just gonna let that start to absorb into that fat layer. The salt will moisten everything. No, Trev, you went out to the garden, the basil plant. It was too cold. Is it all ruined now? I'm sad. I will say the basil that we got from the farmer's market 3 weeks ago now in the fridge is still fine. I don't even know what to say. Actually, we are gonna put some of those basil leaves inside of the pork. That's happening. Okay, there's like a little like one small bad leaf right on the top. We're totally going to put this inside the pork. Salt will draw the moisture out. Yes, it will. So that's why it's gonna like kind of moisten as we let it sit there, and it will absorb in rather than me trying to like pat the seasoning onto it. Okay, maybe some of the leaves were going bad on the inside part and I couldn't see it. I'm glad I actually took this out then. This is gonna taste so good. Especially when you also cook basil. I find the flavor gets a little bit dull. So I'm thinking we'll put the basil all right onto the pork and then put the filling on top of it to hold it down when we roll it. There's still so much. I'll probably just have to blend it with oil and maybe freeze it. And have basil oil. Like, you can't eat the basil because you don't like the flavor? Or it like does something to you? Get the feta. Feta cheese. Feta cheese for Mish, who cannot be here with us today, and that's okay. It makes your mouth tingle. That's nuts. That's so interesting. Isn't basil an ingredient in green goddess or pesto? It is. But I already have pesto in the freezer, so I don't want to make more pesto. Thought basil oil would be nice to use for a salad dressing or something. Whoa, my stomach's growling, guys. Might have to have a little snacky after we're done this. That should be good on the feta, and then I'll keep this other chunk for myself. Because as soon as we start crumbling, it's gonna blow up. Yeah, basil is quite versatile. Or I was thinking of just dehydrating it and having dried basil. But I haven't used that as much, I find. That's kind of my last option. Ah, sun-dried tomato pesto is so yummy though. Like that little jar that I bought last week. Put some in my quinoa. Been awesome to have. Rosemary and fennel you don't vibe with, but that's just preference. Rosemary is very strong though. And even myself, you will see like on stream, I don't use it very often. Probably because if you've ever had rosemary overpower anything, ugh, it's just not the best. And same with fennel or even any licorice sort of flavor, I find, because that's the flavor on fennel. That's a tough one for some people too. It took me actually like cooking consistently with fennel at a restaurant to end up enjoying it. Yeah, roasted chicken or turkey. I know rosemary goes really good with pork as well. Okay, before I wash my hands, I'm just gonna throw this stuff out. The basil we picked. Rosemary, yeah, also grows like a weed. But I would say mint is probably the worst one, right? We got like equal amounts of feta to everything else in here, and I'm not mad about it. Mix this together and then we'll give it a taste because it might need a bit more seasoning. Just the smell of this, I'm like drooling. I'm gonna have the biggest bite. I don't even care. No, yeah, never grow mint in the ground. You will learn the hard way. Mmm. That's so good, guys. I wouldn't add any more seasoning. The feta is like creamy, salty. The onion and garlic don't overpower anything. And the spinach is just a nice little filler, let's say. Alex, yeah. Small amount of mint? How about your entire garden bed? Goodbye. Yes, oh my gosh, that sounds so good, Trev. Hopefully there's a little extra, which I think there will be, because that's quite a bit of filling. I'm just gonna move that over for a sec. We can make our pork rolling station. Fennel in Italy is called finocchio. And yeah, eaten part as a fresh like veggie platter. When I was in Italy the first time with high school, we were staying at a converted commune where this family had like bought it and then they cooked for us all the time. And I always remember the plate of fennel on the table before we would get served our meal. And that's also kind of how I started to eat fennel as well, was after that experience. Okay, now I don't think that this seasoning's gonna fall off, but if it does, oh well. We'll just fix it up after. Lay that open. This might get a little bit messy. So first, we're gonna lay all of our basil leaves flat. It's okay if it tears a little bit. Just press it on there. This is probably gonna taste insane once it's done. I'm really excited now, actually. Definitely take the stem off. Yeah, fennel is way better than just having celery on its own, for sure. But I also think that there's like different varieties of fennel, where it's grown, how it's grown, stuff like that. All of those things make a difference. Fun, Crimson. That sounds really cool. I hope you have a good time. Okay, I'm washing my hands now because I touched the pork a bit and I don't want to contaminate the filling at all. Just because I want to eat it if there's extra. I know I missed a little spot, right? That'll be okay, don't worry. And yeah, the dehydrated basil doesn't bother you either. Well, it is taken up to a certain temp in the dehydrator, right? That's so interesting, Trev. Thanks for sharing. I know my brother kind of gets something similar, like when he eats oranges. He will get a lot of tingles in his mouth and stuff. But it's gotten worse and worse over the years every time he's tried to eat oranges again. Greek, you're here now? Our Greco-Greek is here with us. Nice, Michael. Ah, did you see that piece of feta went flying? Now just kind of spread it out. I think that's good, guys. So I have maybe 1.5 cups left over. I'll just pop that in the fridge. I do have a sourdough pita in the fridge still with a little baba ganoush. So I'll probably eat that with it later, as per Trevor's recommendation. Some lemon slices inside. I don't know about the lemon slice inside. We could do a little squeeze of lemon if you want. I don't want to put the whole thing though. Mish is not here today. She said she's not going to be able to catch this stream. How's Rando doing? I seen him a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. We went for some food and stuff. He was doing good. So I gotta message him again because it's time. Guys, everyone have a sip of water. You like the perfume and moisture from roasting lemons? I like lemons and tagine and stuff like that. But something about the flavor from, I think, the rind throws me off. Okay, now I'm just gonna turn this to make it easier to roll. Kind of move it over a bit. So now, just gently kind of hold the filling in place as you roll it, right? And we do want it pretty tight. Give it a good squeeze. And actually sneak more in away from the edge. You don't want too much near the edge because it'll be hard to get it to seal up. Get in there. You're a lemon fiend. You eat them like oranges. I could never. Good for you, though. I mean, I have been zesting and juicing lemons to put into my water, but yeah, I can't eat the rind. That's it, guys. Look at that. Both sides look really nice. Once it's tied, we'll maybe give a little bit more seasoning on the outside to finish. Thank you, Dante. Also, hi, Nightwalker. Welcome, welcome. Same with SPZ. A meat sushi roll. Yeah. Even though I hate rolling sushi, I'd rather roll meat any day. I just had to wash my hands again because we don't want to contaminate the butcher's twine. So you could do this a couple different ways. You could just cut your small lengths and then tie like probably 1, 2... I usually go 1 inch apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 6 to 7 ties. So cut your string lengths first, or you do 1 long string, and I'll show you how to do like the fancy way. I always cut a lot of extra string just because it sucks when you run out. Pinar is on? Nice. You eat lemon the same as Trev, and they're not bitter? That's crazy. Yeah. Roll this in puff pastry now. Good one, Crimson. So sneak that underneath. And then we'll tie. Don't like to waste too much string. Whatever, we'll waste a little bit on the first tie. But we are gonna tie it tight here. And make a knot. It helps if you put your finger there to tie the knot so that it doesn't get loose. And just go really fast. Because if you start loose here, it's gonna cause issues down the line. And then we always tie that one twice just to make sure it doesn't move. Okay, so now we are going to make a little circle with our twine and then put it underneath the pork and sneak it through. Guide it to about an inch away from there, and then you can start to pull it tight. And then if you're really good at this, all of your string will line up this way. I think if I turn this, it might be easier. I don't know. We can keep going though. So then again, you just have to get it twisted up at the top. See how I pull this way and then you tighten back that way? Holy Crimson, you found out your dad was allergic. He's okay though? Yeah, so I thought I would show you like the fancy way that butchers tie things and make it look really nice, but it's not even that crazy of a thing to do. Yes, it takes a little bit of time. That's really all you're paying the butcher to do, is to take his time to do this little bit more. I'm gonna go tighter still because it's a bit loose. Maybe two more. I've never tried to sneak it the other way. I think once you start going the one way, you always have to keep going that way. I think this is gonna be the last one. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna go a little tighter. Keep all that filling in. Okay, now we just have to tie it off. So I'm gonna just cut this shorter, but I did not bad for estimating how much I needed. And then we're just gonna loop this around and tie a bunch of knots. Make sure it stays tight while you do that. There we go. I'm gonna do one more just so that it doesn't move. Okay, so I messed up this seasoning a bit, right? But that's okay. Can trim that. That. You haven't been able to get cauliflower? I got one on sale a couple of weeks ago and still have some in the fridge. It's staying really good. Yeah, this roll of twine, Trev, that I've had, I don't even know when we got it. But I'm serious, like it'll probably be another 20 years before it's gone. It's so good though, I really like this one. It's quite thick. Some of the other twines I've used before are really thin, and then when you try to pull it tight, it'll snap. Okay, now I'm gonna use my tongs so I don't get my hands messed up anymore. And we're just gonna finish, well, I just got my hands messed up, but that's okay. We're just gonna finish seasoning around now. Yours is twice that size? Holy. Hello. Robier? I hope I say that right. Shake it, shake, shake. Give it a press. And then the little bit of paprika you can see in the rub is already coloring. Like, you can't even tell there's paprika in there, really. But it's doing its magic. And that'll just give the pork a nice little, like, pink exterior. I didn't do that good on the other side. I wasn't really watching. But I think, considering I haven't done this in a while, we did good, guys. I'm not going too crazy on the seasoning either. But this is a pretty big piece of meat, right? Stay. Stay. A Windsor knot is easy to tie, a basic one. The triple pleated version is much more difficult to get just right until it looks perfect. Is that what I did? A triple pleated version, Greek? Did you look it up? I didn't know it was called that. Ah! Good thing I had my tongs there. It held it up. It was about to take a tumble. Just gonna do a press because there's a bit of seasoning there. I'll have to do a little sanitize on the board. Okay, I'm happy. I'm just gonna shove these pieces of spinach back in though. Oh yeah, I guess I should have tied that way too. So we could have done the string before we tied and cut it, loop it all the way back around underneath. And that might hold it together more. That's okay though. Perfection can be hard to achieve sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that out of the fridge now. We want that to come closer to room temperature before it goes in the oven to roast. And honestly, I don't think the rest of the ingredients are gonna take very long to prepare. So I'm gonna turn the oven on because it's gonna take a little bit of time to heat up to 475 Fahrenheit. And just get a soapy cloth here. When you wore ties, you were fancy with the knots. Very cool. Because you have Papa, you won't go for Christmas lunch at your family's now, Mickey? Will they go to your house instead? And next we're gonna work on the fondant potatoes. All of the recipes for today are linked. Just gonna pack up our leftover filling, put our spice away. You always go to your family's house? Maybe this year will be different then. Why, did they not allow animals over, I'm assuming? You just noticed that sign? SM's parents sent that to us. I think even when we were on the island still. It should be hung up, but I'm not putting any holes in the wall. I don't want to fix it. You just like spending Christmas at home? Me too, dude. I'm with you on that. I like just a chill, quiet Christmas where you don't really have to do anything. Potatoes! It's Tato time! What the heck? We just bought these from the farmer's market last week, and it's basically we could put them in the ground and grow them. I hate when that happens. Are they selling us old-ass potatoes? Just asking for myself, really. Not even a friend. Do I miss island life? I actually really do. I so wish that we could afford to live over there still. I think we will maybe end up there. I don't know. I honestly don't know where we're gonna end up with the way that Canada's going. It might be a hop across the pond. We'll see. Okay, done the pork, done the filling. We stuffed, rolled, and tied it. We seasoned it. Let's get the oven to 475 Fahrenheit. That's our searing temperature. I'm also just gonna pop this chicken in the fridge. It's thawed now. That's what I'm saying. I just bought these from the farmer's market though last week. And it wasn't even cheap. Maybe because they're organic, they're sprouting faster. But my god. Maybe this one, just because I want to get rid of it. We'll see how that fits in the pan. And then if we need more, we can do more. I will be peeling these completely. I know often we leave the skin on because I love that. But I'm going to completely peel these. So these will have to get placed. So we'll cut them into rounds about 1 inch thick. And then place it throughout the pan to fill it up. Yeah, you're right, Greek. You are already right on that one. Take advantage of that dual citizenship. Do I have a favorite way to eat potatoes? You're partial to home fries and French fries. I love, like, fried potatoes, for sure. Yeah, and then my roommate says I always need, like, equal amount of sour cream to potato. I really love roasted potatoes, though. Like, if they're spiced right, eat yummy roasted potatoes with sour cream. It's so dang good. But then I do love mashed potatoes. Like, I don't know if I have a favorite. It probably depends on what you eat it with. Okay, I'm like trimming this. This is just where like the fork, whatever, the shovel that they were trying to dig the potatoes out with, it got bunged up. One bigger knife. But like the inside is perfect. That's what bugs me. Yeah, he does have dual citizenship, Greek, because he was born there. Oof, I don't know what's under this part either. Okay, not too bad. Okay, we were planning to take a road trip this summer to go out east to maybe look for property, but it's already messed out that way. So there's no point to do that. peeled. They look pretty good. Let's pick these eyes out just because it probably tastes gross. If I was cooking this for fine dining, this would not pass inspection. But since it's just for me, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, out Nova Scotia way, but it's already effed up there. So what we do have to do with these is just kind of flatten the ends so that they can lay flat in the pan. When we go to give them a little fry before they roast in the oven. Get that nice surface area. Hi Cookie, happy Friday. You done working now? Ugh, what's under there? Don't do this to me, potato. Why are you like this? All done. Picking up a couple auction pieces you won? You did like a silent auction sort of thing? Or an actual auction? Trev, your house that you bought in 2011 has doubled in value. That is freaking amazing. Like, I'm actually pumped for all the people that their properties have gotten better with value over the years. Like, good for you guys for getting in early. Auction. Everything online, you found great deals. Anything for the kitchen? This was so much waste. I hate when this happens. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna throw out the same amount of potato that I'm gonna cook. Yeah, the kids will get your place. Good one. I wish that happened more often. Mickey, your mom. We love them. Crimson, your stepsister and her fam are getting around to moving out to Nova Scotia. 16-acre plot of land. Yes, please. Yes, please. Antique cast iron. Haven't found a good one yet. And yeah, most of the kitchen stuff has been subpar. Dang. Okay, are these all around the same? This one will have one extra. I'm thinking we'll just be able to cut this in half. No, we'll go a little bit shorter because my pan is not super tall. So you keep in mind, if you're gonna cut it a little bit smaller, it's gonna cook quicker possibly. And then we start doing this. So you want kind of the flattest side in the pan first because we're trying to fit it all in there together. Yay! Thank you, Cookie. 1,631 bitlies. He evened up the sewing machine goal to 68%. And I will tell you, Sam has asked me to, for the first thing that we make with the sewing machine, guys, I'm going to be making him a quilted blanket to bring up to work so that he doesn't have to use the crappy like polyester comforters there. I'll make him a nice cotton one. And that is a really good like intro sewing thing to make a blanket instead of trying to start with making clothes. Okay, this is uneven. Let's try and even it up a little bit. Carbon Country. Yeah, I have been seeing some postings because I still look at property listings all the time, still even in BC. There's some massive properties up there, Greek. Okay, we have space in the pan though. It doesn't mean we have to fill it either. Like, we don't have to fill the pan. I think we'll stop there because it's, yeah, that's enough for me. Woohoo! Wash up the knife. We couldn't live on a boat because Sam would die. He has the worst motion sickness of anyone I've ever met in my life, unfortunately. I'm not exaggerating this. Like, it was even hard for us to move from Vancouver on the big-ass ferry to go to the island. He had to just stand on the back of the boat the whole time to, like, calibrate himself. Oh, no, he can swim because he grew up in Ontario fishing and by the river and stuff. Lakes and rivers are fine. Just nothing really bigger than that. Okay, let's read our recipe. What's next? Has he tried the tablets? I don't know if he's tried a tablet. I can't remember if he got something from the doctor before or not. No, there's no bridge from Vancouver to Vancouver Island. Fondant potatoes. Okay, we cut these. Okay, so they actually say now that it's cut, we can just put it in a bowl and toss it with oil and salt and pepper. I don't really see a point to doing that if we're just gonna fry it in the pan. I was just gonna season them as they were frying. Let's skip that step because there's no point to dirty another bowl. So medium-high heat with the skillet, and then we're just going to fry each side until it's golden brown. While they're frying, we just have to get a little bit of stock. It just says 1 cup worth of stock and then some dried thyme. That is so dang easy. A big boat is one of your dream purchases. That'd be amazing. You should, I'm gonna type this in chat. You might have already heard of them, but one of my favorite YouTubes to watch is called La Vagabond, and it's this family. They have 2 kids and they just live on a sailboat, and you can actually rent some of their past boats now around the world, whether you want to sail it yourself or have someone man it for you. It's amazing. They do like long videos too, like about an hour long. It's almost like a movie. It's awesome. Definitely check it out if you're into boats and stuff like that. Hi Wilson, how are you? Okay, so let's just take these all out. We don't have to put it in a container. You're welcome, Trev. And holy, 30 months in a row, Wilson. Thank you. What we are gonna do though is just give this a wipe. We don't want the potato starch right on there before we add any oil or butter. Got back from the vet, pupper shots, nothing crazy, just like the same old routine, let's say. I think we're safe to put our pork in the oven. Let's prep. How do I want to roast this, guys? We want to go sheet pan kind of popped up or just in a roasting pan? I think just roasting pan. Might be able to actually pop it up. Let's see. Nice. You scheduled her spay. You're a responsible owner. Just gonna line it with foil and parchment. Helps with the cleaning later. Guys, I will say, since starting stream, my headache's going away. So yay. That was seriously one of the worst headaches I ever had. I really didn't want to cancel stream. Bam. Wonder if there's gonna be yummy drippings on the pan. I'm gonna bring a little rack just to see if it'll fit in. It might. This little thing. Nice, Greek. Even the waifu and the parents said you could live there? Let's go. You should definitely go see it. If you have that feeling like it might be the one, you should go. Is this gonna fit? Haha. Sometimes you just got the skills, chat. It's not gonna move. That works. Haha. Okay, I'm gonna bring the roast over. It looks so beautiful. Yeah, we went fancy on it today, Cookie. I showed everyone how to do the fancy butcher tie. It turned out. Okay, my one last hand washing for a bit, I hope. Thanks, Wilson. And then, yeah, the filling on the inside, we just sauteed some onion and garlic with some spinach and then crumbled some feta into it. Really, really simple. So now it's gonna go into the oven at 475 Fahrenheit to sear. The recipe says 20 minutes. And I actually think that's a really good timing. It'll get it nice and browned all over, and then we'll turn it down to 300 Fahrenheit. So I can finish nice, low, and slow for about 30 to 40 more minutes, it says. I didn't even actually look at how big their roast was either. Sometimes I make that mistake. Let me just see how much pork they used. 5 pounds? I used about 3/4 that size because the whole pork loin itself was 10 pounds and this is 1/3 of it. Or is this 1/4 of it? This is only 1/4 of it. So it actually might cook quicker. Let's see. Thanks, yet it is. Yeah, it was fun. Okay, I'll set my timer. I think I gotta... Do I have to move the rack? Nope, we're good. So I'll put this on the bottom oven rack, and then our fondant potatoes can go on the higher one. I love that for you, Greek. I really hope it works out. Okay, there's that, and we just need some butter. Three tablespoons of butter. And then some salt and pepper. You can also come a little bit down now. We were high up earlier because we were inside of a big pot. And then we just have to cut up some carrots, guys, and boil them a bit and blend it into puree with a little bit more of this butter. I'm gonna turn on the heat. Let's go medium heat. That sounds like the dream, dude. I'm going a little bit more butter. I have never made my own butter, but I think I want to start. Because we found this online farmer's market here now that like sources from all the farms. And then they'll either pack your box and deliver it to you or you just go pick it up. And I want to try some of their dairy and eggs. Because you saw me, like my Instagram reel that I put today, I made my own brown sugar. I'm definitely getting more into that kind of stuff now. And honestly, it's fun. Like some people might find it annoying to take the time to do that, but for me, that was actually so much fun. I couldn't believe how easy it was. Kind of made me giggle after it was done. I was like, that's it? Okay. Actually, while we're waiting, thanks for the reminder. I'm gonna take out a little bit of my sourdough starter just to warm up a bit before we mix the dough for the cinnamon rolls that will bake tomorrow. And I don't have a link for this one. It was just a recipe I found from someone on Instagram and they look really good. Okay, I only need half a cup of starter. That's like nothing. This butter looks crazy too. Took your kid to Chattanooga yesterday? I think that's where Dust lives. I might be wrong, but I swear that's where Dusty lives. You guys are in really close proximity, Wilson. You ate Indian food. It was your first time. Curry chicken. It wasn't spicy. That's good. With rice, butter garlic naan. Would you eat it again then? Or would you try something else even now that you're like, wow, that was so good? It was spicy. Just their version of not spicy. Ugh. Guys, see how I'm letting the butter heat up till it's gonna be bubbling? Just let it clarify a little bit. Pile of starter. Okay, now that that's done, we can place our potatoes in the pan. Yeah, always brown the butter. You know, Greek. You're on an adventure to try all different types of cultural foods. Do you know what you want to try next? Okay, so it's kind of spitting a bit, right? Just be careful as you place this in. And then we'll season them. And it says this will take about 6 to 8 minutes. On each side, almost like searing a steak? What the heck? There is a fine line, you're right, between burnt butter and browned butter. I'll put all the big pieces around the outside edge. Next one is your pick. Maybe you'll go Greek food. I really like to eat Greek food when it gets warm out. This is actually perfect. Look at that. Give it a little shake. They're not stuck or anything. Now we'll season them. You're not very cultured in food? That's okay. I mean, there's still a lot of things I haven't tried either, right? I'm gonna turn this down a bit. Is it that one? Yes, it was. Yeah, there is still a lot of things that I have yet to try as well. But I do try to always cook new things with you guys every week. I know sometimes there's repeats, but those are all things that we all love. It is pretty crazy though, like when I say on stream, oh, I haven't had this in a while, and then I go back to find the recipe and it's been like 2 years or something like that. You don't realize how much time goes by. Okay, Greek, thanks for hanging out with us. You know, I'll be around all weekend if you have time to come hang with us again. Have a good rest of your day. Don't work too hard. Okay, now that we're sizzling, happiness is occurring. They said medium-high heat for this, but I don't want to go too high because we don't want to burn the butter. Season. I think we'll season both sides. Good idea to season this now though, so that the salt can start to absorb into the potato while it's frying on the other side. It smells good already. So we still need to get a cup of chicken stock out of the fridge and some herb. How do we want to flip these over? I might just use a little fork to try and flip these instead of a spatula. Come over here for a sec. We'll get our stonk. This one's from rotisserie chicken stock, so it's not nearly as gelatinous as just bone broth, but still tasty. And we got the dried thyme, which looks like I need to get some more thyme. I'll have to watch for it to go on sale again. That's what I did last time. And I just bought a bunch of it, used it while it was fresh, and then dried it before it went bad. Just this sound like puts me to sleep almost. Just gonna do a little peek. See what's happening. It's just kind of starting to brown under there. Gonna give this a swivel because my stovetop is uneven. Pulled out your 14-inch cast iron. Been doing tons of braising in it. Having a braiser, yeah, having this pan and my braiser makes cooking so easy. And it just fits like perfect portions as well. It's kind of funny. Okay, I'm gonna put the potatoes away that we didn't need. I still have a pack of baby potatoes that we can maybe use next week on stream. Roast those up. Yeah, just starting to brown. This one actually looks the darkest. Yum. Okay, we can go a little bit more still though. Should we peek at the pork? Nothing's happening. Hi, Tony. How's your Friday? Yeah, 1 cup of chicken broth, put a lid on, and then the potatoes just absorb all of it. It's magic. Okay, while those are going, I'll get out the little pot for our carrots. Just this little one will be good. Baby pot. Ah, my sourdough starter's splooting over. 1 sec. She's alive. Even though I didn't even feed it. You guys ever use that word sploot? Pork to 140? I might push it to 145 just because sometimes with filling, if you stuff it with something, I don't like if it stays a little bit too raw in there. Sploot? Splooge? I usually say S-P-L-O-O-T. Like sploot it. You always go 145? That's the best temp to cook your pork to. I wouldn't go more than that. You could go 140. Look at that. That's what we want. How are the rest of these? They're a little bit behind still. Ah! Don't splash the butter like I did either. Scary. This one looks more brown too, actually. It's working. It's happening, everyone. Aww. Maybe could have went a little bit darker on that, but you can see where it's near the outside of the pan. It just doesn't get as browned. Wow, that one's like almost perfection. Oh, that one almost got dark. Okay, last one. Same with that one. So I'll just turn that piece more to the inside so that we even out the cooking. Thank you, Cookie. Tater magic. It really is. I don't know if these are gonna go right into the oven because the pork is dragging. It's dragging. It's taking its sweet time. When it comes to meats that you can screw up, you just braise or sous vide it. You'd probably sous vide pork. Otherwise, you might overcook it. I mean, always smart to just check halfway through how it's cooking and then do small, like maybe 10-minute increments until you're happy with where it's at. Take this pot and bring it over here for our carrots coming up. Okay, so usually when we flip something over, it browns quicker on the other side. I don't know if that'll be the case with these, but this was the first one we flipped. Let's have a peek. It's not letting me peek. Yeah, it's almost all browned. Okay, I'm gonna just turn this off for now. And those are not gonna go into the oven until I'm happy with where the pork is. And then it will take around the same amount of time. So let's just take those off of the hot burner for now. You don't want to burn the butter. I'll turn us this way. But what I will do while it's resting over here is we can pour the stock in. Careful, it might splash a bit. just to get it heated. And then a little sprinkle of thyme as well. Just around in the broth. And I didn't season the potatoes on the second side because I used rotisserie chicken stock, which rotisserie chickens are seasoned on their own. Cool. Bacon? Give me some bacon, yes, please. It actually smells insane in here right now. Wow. Michael's done finishing cooking his ground beef. You beat me, dude. You beat me. I lost the race. Carrots. I had to bump up my carrots from the farm because I only had these two small ones, and I think this one died. We'll try and save it. But the rest was yellow, and that wouldn't make a nice orange carrot puree. So all I did was buy a bunch of organic carrots from the store because they actually weren't that pricey. My timer just went off. Just peek at the pork. Okay, a little bit of sizzling action happening here. Just gonna do another 10 minutes on it. Oh yeah, I usually go really high fat in my grinds for meat as well. I'm with you on that, Trev. Just rinsing the potato peeler off. But Michael is like meal prepping and stuff and doing bodybuilding. So that's why he's eating lean ground beef. Let's not use this big one because that'll probably be too much. Just use these funny small ones. And I said I don't want much more than 2 cups of puree because that'll be a lot. Yeah, we'll do this other one too. You were cheating with cooking? Well, thanks for admitting that at least. I feel better. You know I'm just bugging you, right? Should we just take off all the stem? Yes. So long, farewell. They look really nice though. Has anyone ever made like carrot top pesto? I tried once. A waste of time, if you were wondering. It wasn't that good at all. You've never tried beef liver? I don't know if I have either. No, I think in culinary school, like, we had to try everything. We weren't really allowed to say no unless it was like a religious thing. Let's do this knife. I just need to see what's happening here. Okay, we just won't use that part. It died. There's been actually like a huge trend toward eating liver and offal and all that sort of stuff. A lot of people will dry it and have it in a pill. I've seen that. I have not jumped on that trend. But yeah, it's supposed to be amazing for you. It's very healthy. That'd probably be the only way that I could consume it is like in a pill like that. Because I really don't like the taste otherwise. These other 2 carrots look like almost perfect. I'm just gonna give them a rinse under water instead of peeling them. Just don't overcook the liver. That's like so many things in life, right? Don't overcook it. My mom always tells me that when I was a baby, it was my favorite food because she made a lot of our baby food herself. And whenever she'd give me liver, my legs would be kicking in the high chair, she always said. I said, oh, there's no way that you could do that to me now. Liver sausage? Yeah, like the one time that I tried that Chinese style of sausage. I think it's called like Chinese sweet sausage or something like that. I didn't know there was liver in it. It totally threw me off. I got really sad. Just tip and top the carrots. The trick is just to bread everything, Trev. Yeah, she said she'd put these little booties on me that had bells on the, where the toes were. And I'd just be ringing my little bells. I'm just gonna cut this into about 1-inch lengths to boil it. The stories that I tell you guys. I don't know why I tell you guys these things. Maybe because they are cute. It's true. I need a piece of carrot. Mmm. Hello, Vograx. How are you? So far, so good today. I had a raging headache behind my left eyeball earlier. I honestly didn't know if I was gonna stream. But it's almost completely gone now. I don't know what happened, but you guys saved my life, so thank you. Mmm. When carrots actually taste like carrots, so good. I can't stop eating it, I'm sorry. Michael. We should ask her next time we see her. Thank you, yet it is. Thank you so much. Just power through. Okay, so just a small amount of water to boil these until it's softened. They said it will take about 20 minutes. But we don't want all the water to evaporate. Also, I was gonna put a little stock in because that would make it taste yummy too. You got a holiday? Fun. You got anything planned for it? Back to this container. We'll do half broth or stock and half water. I'll pour the stock in first. And so we just cook the carrots simply like this. And then after it goes into a blender with just a couple nubs of butter, cold, so that it emulsifies everything together and makes it really nice and smooth. I have high hopes for this. I've never made this before, so we're learning together. Yes, that's right. It is race weekend. I wonder if Samo and I will be able to watch it together. I'm not sure. He's been quite busy at work, actually, recently. Not nearly as much time to talk as some other months, but that's okay. How's this? Okay, the pork is like dripping with like fat and juices. It looks insanely good. I don't know if I tried to show you with the camera if you could see it or not, but that was, really? Why? It's not even smoky in here. It's not even smoky in here. Ridiculous. Hey, turn down the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna go 325 because I want to cook the potatoes together. Makes me wave the towel. Like, can you guys see me on the side? Oh, it's still being a piece of poo. Sometimes I miss being able to cook outside. That was so easy. How to like make your heart jump out of your chest? That moment right there. Okay, come over to the stove. So, potatoes. Pop those babies in the oven. And then I'm gonna set a 15-minute timer. So you can do a little peek. Do this quick, otherwise I'm gonna set the thing off again. Ridiculous. I know, and it's about to go off now because it shows a red light. Whew. There was actually a crazy fire, I forgot to tell you guys, last week. Just like more downtown from where we are. Someone lit their entire balcony on fire and like had to get rescued off of it. And I was like, that is why I have been very wary to use the grills. Like they had to rescue the cat and everything. It was crazy. Let's turn this to a medium heat. We can prep our butter nubs for when we need to blend it. And then I think while everything's cooking, we will mix our sourdough cinnamon rolls for tomorrow so that they can proof overnight. You were co-riding with another guy some years ago, almost every day when you're driving home from work. A 1-hour commute, his mobile phone would go off. A notification for his fire alarm because his wife was prepping dinner. That's an interesting notification to have. I wonder what kind of system they use that he would get a little push notification for that. Luckily, Sam doesn't have that. Okay, that's what I cut to mix in to the puree. Whether we need all that or not, at least we have it ready. At least he knew there would be dinner when he got home. So true. Oh my goodness. Well, that little thing like made my headache come back for like a little bit. So let's see. It's like, oh, you're feeling great? Let's make an insanely loud beeping noise. And see how you feel after that. Too funny. Actually, I think we need butter for the cinnamon rolls, but that'll be tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's in the dough. Let me bring up Discord really quick. Okay, for the dough, we need 3 cups of all-purpose flour. She does specify organic, which is what I use as well. And I will say, since using organic flour to do baking and like introduce wheat back into my diet, I haven't had any issues. So Maybe that makes all the difference. We need a little bit of water. We got our starter. Okay, there is eggs as well as butter in the dough. And a little bit of sugar and obviously salt. So this is almost similar to what a brioche dough is. A brioche is a rich dough that has eggs and butter in it. And then we know whenever we have dairy added into our bread dough, it makes it really soft and supple, right? And gives it nice color when it bakes. So all good things. I'll get the mixer out. And set up. How's our tri-tip feeling back here? Good. Oh, I did also take this out. Some of my like mirepoix soup base to blend into the carrots too, because I thought that would be tasty. Because there's onion, garlic, and celery in there too. Little secret something. I think we're getting some thunderstorms building up tonight, actually. Got some dark clouds building up. That's usually what happens here when it's really warm throughout the day. We'll usually get some thunderstorms around like dinner time, and then it's gone. Okay, I don't think the smoke detector is gonna go off anymore. Pop this recipe over on the side. I don't remember the last time I had a cinnamon bun. I really don't. Because even like when I was baking up at camp, I had my wheat allergy, so I wasn't eating anything that I was baking. I honestly don't remember. That's bad. So that's when you know it's time for cinnamon rolls again. Hopefully these are really yummy and floofy. And then tomorrow, obviously, we'll make some cream cheese icing to go on top. Found out recently that people have more issue with North American flour than European flour. Because North American, harsher winters, the wheat has a tougher exterior and harder to digest for people with sensitivities. That's so interesting. I mean, the other one is them like spraying the crops with stuff, and then the chemical is also affecting you, right? Like there is so many factors that you have to think about. And that's why I just removed it from my system altogether for, I think about 8 months I did. And that was so hard, I will say that. And then only reintroduced it very slowly with like mostly whole grains and organic stuff. And so far so good to report. All right, so we're gonna start with 1/2 cup of warm water into here. And there's actually no yeast in this dough either. I really like that. So the starter is gonna do all the work for you. And that's also why I didn't feed the starter, because the starter is gonna feed overnight when we mix this dough together and it slowly proofs. Okay, so we'll do the water and the starter, and then we'll prep our eggs and butter together to be added and get everything else. Carrots are boiling. We'll just turn that down a little bit, because it said you don't want to boil the liquid out of there. Keep the lid on. Okay, so 2 eggs. That also means there's a little bit of protein in here too, right? I'm okay with that. Just take those out so they can come up to temp. Okay, so all I'm gonna do, I think, is just scoop the starter out and then reuse this container. Look at it. It exploded. It's alive. Hey. Yeah. Scrape all that goodness. And yes, we want warm water. You don't want hot water. And you also don't want it to be too cool either. And why do you think my starter's name is Goldilocks? I think we'll give that a little mix. We need more light in our life. I have to move it this way. Well, that's not gonna work. Whatever. That's good. So she uses coconut sugar. I'm just gonna use some maple syrup instead, 2 tablespoons. And then half a cup of butter softened. Let's grab a container. At the same time, this is the healthiest cinnamon roll recipe I've ever seen. More butter. The amount of sizzle sounds coming from the oven right now is awesome. It's making me really excited for lunch/dinner. Okay, doot, half a cup. Oh. So not melted, just softened. It's okay if a little bit of it melts though. You've seen me do that on stream before. You just don't want it all melted. I usually do a 20-second microwave. Nice. That looks great. A little hole in the center. I'm just grabbing a spatula. think we'll scoop the flour into here next, and then we'll add these other ingredients on top. So we need 3 cups worth of flour. Just all purpose. Doesn't have to be anything more fancy than that. Just gonna pour this bag into here so it can fit now. Now, recycle. Under 5 minutes till we check on the stuff in the oven. That's awesome. It's like the dinner bell. Bong. Celia? I hope that's how you say your name. I had a friend named Celia. Celia Chavez. Thanks for that follow. Now we're getting our butter in, and then we'll crack our eggs into here next and add them. I saw this crazy video on Instagram from a farm. And the girl's like, I feel so bad for my chicken. The egg was massive. The egg was like 3 times the size of all the normal eggs. And she cracked it open. There was 2 yolks inside of that egg with another whole egg inside of it that had a proper egg. There was like 3... It was like a double triple. I don't even know what to call it, Wilson. It was so crazy. The poor chicken. Oh my god. Okay, the last thing I think we need is just the salt, flour, water, starter, egg, butter. We got maple syrup instead of coconut sugar. Just 1.5 teaspoons of salt, it says. Wonder what would happen if one put feta in the mix before it got made in the dough? That wouldn't be very cinnamon roll-esque. Are we making feta rolls? Sun-dried tomato, pesto feta rolls? Michael, stop that. It said 1.5 teaspoons of salt. That's usually 3 of my pinches. Let's get this mixing and then we'll go to the stove. I'm gonna do a 10-minute timer on the mixer for it. Let's also see how it mixes, if it's too dry or what. Because a lot of times where I live, it is too dry. Like a sprinkle of water. Why are you focusing on the... There we go. Maybe a little more even. It does usually look pretty dry at first when you start mixing dough, so don't add too much moisture right away. This is seeming pretty good now. I guess the other thing is it depends on the hydration of your sourdough starter as well. I wouldn't add any more moisture. Yeah, you were hired to spam Feta. It's true. Okay, so she says, let this sit for 8 hours or until it doubles in size. So that's why I'm making this early on the counter, and then you put it into the fridge overnight. I did make Nutella rolls once upon a time when I was baking up at camp. And I would actually just reuse, like I would make a basic sort of rich white bread recipe, and then half of it I would turn into either a savory or a sweet roll for the day. And the Nutella rolls were good, but the amount of sugar in the Nutella kind of made it like really hard and crispy. So I would suggest maybe mixing it with a cream cheese or something like that, because I wasn't really happy with how they baked up just kind of spreading Nutella and rolling it. That's my only stipulation on that one. They still tasted good and stuff, but somehow the texture was off. Chocolate red velvet rolls? Holy shnikey. Yes, please. And rolls are so fun to make too. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit faster. And then, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my starter, I always feed it with half and half whole wheat as well as all-purpose flour. So there's always whole wheat in whatever I'm using with the starter, which makes a big difference. I might need a little bit more flour. We'll see how it looks. Probably, right? A homemade version of Nutella with like way less sugar in it and just more chocolate and hazelnut. Whoa. Whoa-y. A peanut butter maker? I remember when there was someone on the island selling one and I so wanted to buy it. Okay, let's go to the stove, guys. My timer went off. I'm gonna poke the carrots first. Yeah, they are nice and soft actually. You can just turn that off. That was so dang quick. But you really want to make sure the carrots are cooked through, right? You don't want them to be kind of like lumpy at all. So you get a really nice, smooth puree. So that's good. We'll just leave that warm on there until we can switch out the dough here. I'm just gonna have a peek in the oven. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Things are looking really good. Do I want to temp the pork, I think? What do you guys think? Temp the pork? I'm honestly wanting to. Needed another towel, 1 sec. Cause like, look at this already. Holy baby. Do I gotta turn it this way instead? So go in the center. Okay, see how it kind of went through quick? So the coldest part I seen was 105. That's not bad at all. I was planning to do another 15 minutes anyways. We only have 40 more degrees to go. And there's still stock in the potato pan as well. Let's do another, I'll do 10. Just so that the potatoes don't get dried out, and then we'll check it again. We'll leave this here. Come back over. It is one chunky pork. I'm so excited. I haven't really had an appetite too much this week either, but now I am like ready to feed. Let me see if I can get this lighting better in here. There we go. Haha. Just gotta try something new. Okay, so see how it's kind of sitting and not mixing in that one part? That's telling me that we just need a bit more flour to get it to come together. I have Corona on my stove. Yeah, that's my roommate's spoon holder that he got from Mexico. It's pretty dang cool. So you just dribble in a little bit of flour at a time. I'm gonna stop there. So in reality, we didn't have to add more moisture. Now let's see what that does. The headache, yeah, it makes you not want to eat, right? I mean, as long as you can get fluids down, that's really the most important, I always think. I hope that you're able to kick this thing soon, Okoke. That's how I'll kind of test how it's mixing and see how the gluten is building. Just give this a little push and see how long the strands stretch. It looks like we have about 3 minutes left or so for the 10 minutes. Doesn't feel too soft, so I'm not gonna add any more flour, because tomorrow when we roll it out, we're gonna use a little bit of flour, so we don't want to get it too dry now. Put away our extra ingredients while we're waiting, and there's, yeah, not that much longer. While the pork is resting, we'll make our carrot puree in the blender quickly, and that's it, guys. That was so easy. Ah, you might need extra treatment for your eye. That's so scary, Okoke. I'll be thinking of you. I did, like, Sam was feeling kind of under the weather because people always go up there with, like, colds and stuff on the plane, so everyone gets sick. I did this, like, crazy, like, 10-minute mantra for him the other night, and, like, it actually worked. He's feeling better. He didn't get sick. Words and energy are powerful, man. Scrape off this part. Ugh, my watch. It's time to stand, Kate. You know I've literally been standing for, like, the past almost 3 hours, right? Excuse me? Watch, are you drunk? I'm gonna go a bit longer than 10-minute mix on this. Just grabbing some cold water. Your KitchenAid died a month ago? I would say 100% this is worth it. This is the whole reason why I got this machine, is because I was really unhappy with the KitchenAid I got. I couldn't even make a batch of cookies with it. And so one of our restaurant suppliers got us onto this. And like, I have 2 of these machines. I have a backup one that we bought secondhand from a lady during COVID. She used it while she was off for like 2 weeks from work and then didn't touch it again. So yeah, the other machine's basically brand new. But this one, heck, what? We've been using it for 5 years now, I think, straight. All the things we've done with it on stream, all of the different attachments that we've tried. I love it so, so much. It is expensive, but I think this is gonna last way longer, as well as the warranty on this thing. I can't recall what it is, but it's a lot longer of a warranty than whatever you get in North America that you buy. But yeah, the secondhand one that we bought was like quite cheap. Not quite half price, but close to it. And that was like a no-brainer for us. We drove out that day. It was like a couple-hour trip up north. Worth it though. You guys remember when we would make like those mass amounts of pizza dough? So then I would have the 2 machines running side by side. And that would make 12 large Detroit style pizzas. No problem. We used to cook so much food on the weekends. Okay, so that's the timer. It just goes off by itself. Let's do a window test. Hi, Blondie. How are you doing, dude? Speaking of Detroit pizza. That's so funny you said it at the same time as me. I seen what you ate yesterday. It looks so dang good. Okay, so it's kind of sticky, but it feels really good. I will say that. Window test. So we're just gonna pull the dough away from the center, kind of keep a little window frame around the outside until we can see through it. Okay, you can see the angle there. And it stretches, you could see through the window, and it just starts to tear open. I think we can maybe go a bit longer. That wasn't that strong of gluten. But the other thing I'm thinking is with the egg and butter in here, you're probably not gonna get as much gluten compared to if you didn't have those ingredients. So we should be good, because we even did a couple extra minutes. There's Blondie, he's here. Take this apart. That just goes away like that. This comes off. I usually just leave it hang on this side. Same with that. Done. This clock runs on Feta. You know how happy and proud me should be of you today, Michael? Just want to say that. Like, I'm even proud of you. And I'm the one, like, accepting the heckling. Look at that. My timer's going off again. Isn't that lovely? Just perfect over here. Okay, before we check the oven, let's just get this all together and covered. We'll cover it with plastic so it doesn't dry out. I usually try to form it into somewhat of a dough ball. Not by touching it though, just with the spatula like this. And then just take a mental picture of how much dough is here so that you know when it's doubled in size. It might take 8 hours, it might take less time. But there's no yeast in here, right? So we're just relying on our little Goldilocks starter to rise to the occasion. Dunny. Okay, let's go back over to the stove. Beep, beep. The light screen, everyone. This is what I wanted to check first. There's a lot of broth still. What the heck-a-doodle-do? And the potatoes are cooked. Okay. I mean, I'll roll with it. We can leave them in there longer. I did. You caught my dad joke? Okay, so those are done though. So they can go longer or not, totally up to you. But like they're not getting really darker brown, so I'm gonna leave those in there for now. And then real quick, let's get this out before the smoke detector goes off. Oh God. How's Bob today? Look at that though. That's looking so delicious. I'm not gonna poke it in the same spot, close to it. Whoa. Okay, we're like so getting really close actually. That rose 10 degrees though, only. And I will say like the end pieces are gonna be more cooked than the inside. But let's go another 10. And then while we're waiting, we will make our carrot sauce or puree. £17 of pork shoulder for 23. That's a way better deal than what I got. I thought I did good. I got 10 pounds of pork here for 32. And that is like a steal of a deal right now. It was a BOGO even? Good job. What kind of sausage are you gonna make? I freaking actually love making sausage at home. So you're gonna grind it yourself then? Gonna give this a little wiperoo. A de-dust. I remember when I used to make a protein smoothie. A protein fruit and veggie smoothie every single morning for Sam and I. For like 3 years straight. Chef Steve's Italian to start. Yum. You got the casings? Are your casings soaking with lemon water? I found that was like one of the most important parts of making sausage was prepping your casings so they weren't weird. Oh, you're doing collagen. Easy then. Nice. This trusty old Vitamix. This thing is over, I think it's over 10 years old, or it's just 10 years old actually, this Vitamix. Because we got it when we were in Vancouver and that was 2014. She's seen some stuff. She's done some things. Such a small amount, but I think it will work. I think it will work. I'm honestly a little worried, but that's okay. Traditional England Cumberland sausages, yum. I really liked, yeah, like Italian fennel sausage. That's one of my favorites to make. So I'm gonna pour the carrots in with all of this, and we actually are probably gonna need a little bit more hot water too. So I'm gonna pour that right now in there. And then why don't we start with like 3 nubs of butter. You can always add more. I'm also gonna add a scoop of my mirepoix garlic soup base that I'm trying to use up still. So onion, celery, carrot, garlic, just cooked with butter. Really similar ingredients to what's in here. But I thought just like a scoop of this would turn it into something amazing. Let's roll with that to start. And so this is going to be swiped on the bottom of the plate. And then we'll just place our potatoes and the pork medallion slice around on it. Just thought it would really bring everything together really nice. You can kind of see through, I guess. Poke your eye through the little hole, guys. So I'm going to start on low speed and then turn it up from there. And yeah, it might chug a little bit at first. We'll have to scrape down this side. Yeah, watch your eyeballs. Careful. Let me get a spatula. Because I know it flew up onto the lid. It smells so good though. Check that out. I'm just gonna scrape that. That's why it's not blending as good anymore. Silly thing. I think we're gonna put the other nub of butter too. The texture's close, but it's not quite there. It was funny when I was trying to find a recipe to make this. Some of them were for baby food. I was like, I'm not making baby food, I swear. Don't tell chat. A coulis, a carrot coulis. Almost. A savory coulis. I think red pepper would also be good. A red pepper sauce with the pork and the potatoes. Okay, I'm just gonna let that go because it's already flying up the sides. We're just gonna slow roll it. While we're waiting, I'm gonna go grab the cutting board for the pork to rest on. We'll need a slicing knife. And that's really it. I am very much ready to eat. Whoa! And I just turned it up a little bit. We will have to try this. We might need some salt. I'm not gonna add pepper though, just so we keep it really nice and orange. I love it, Up and Adam. Welcome in. There's something about feta cheese that makes me feel great. We love our dad jokes here, so thank you for that. And yeah, we have all sorts of commands. Okay, that's looking better. It's coming together. I think we'll try this now. Just if we have to add some salt, we can. You like the slow drip down the side? Actually, I don't know if we need more butter in there. Okay, so it gets finished with salt and a bit of lemon juice. And I think that's gonna be perfect. Because it was like kind of missing something to brighten it up. Cream of potato soup? No, it's just carrot puree. It totally needs the lemon though. Well, I forgot there was butter in with the mirepoix mix. And there is a limit, unfortunately. I was like, what am I grabbing? The lemon. Halo. Halo there, Kate. Roll it. Loosen up the juices. Okay, that was a 10-minute timer again, but I don't think the pork's gonna be ready. So I'm just gonna do another 5. Because there's no way it raised 30 degrees in 10 minutes. And every time you open up the oven, it just cools it off more. Let's do like a small amount of lemon like that. You only need about a tablespoon or so. Compound butters are life. Now I want a steak. What do you call a pig that knows karate? A pork chop. I love that one too. Good job. Our one mod, Annie, would be very proud. He's usually the one that tells the dad jokes here. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. That's a good one too, actually. Okay, let's try this again. A cow isn't pork, though. It's okay. Whee! Let that mix in slowly. That was a very juicy lemon. Whoa. Putting the dried thyme away while I'm waiting. I'm excited to try these potatoes. I might have to put some sour cream on the plate, we'll see. Oh, that kind of changed the carrot puree a bit. I still want it to get a little bit more smooth, which is why I'm going slow. We need it like spreadable. Freeze your lemons whole. Can you do that? I always just zest and juice them and then just freeze that together. So it just saves a bit of space, right? If you have the juice and zest all together. Okay, let's see. Whoa. This cute little blender. Just chugging along. I think we're there, guys. First time making it, we can't expect it to be perfect. And then the only note I would say is maybe don't let this cool down too much, right? Because the butter will get hard. So just also keep that in mind. If you're gonna refrigerate it, it might also get hard in the fridge. Don't get scared. It's easier to zest frozen. Oh, that's like the same as ginger, actually. When you just freeze a whole nub of ginger, you can just grate it right out of the freezer. I always forget to do that. And it juices better after it thaws. That would also make sense because like the cells get broken. So you probably get way more juice. Let's get all this goodness out of here. I bet this tastes awesome now with that bit of lemon. What did Feta Soprano say to one of his soprano members? Forget about it. Feta, get about it? You gonna make me go get the gabagool right now? Make the manicotti? I've only seen that series once, but I think I would for sure watch it again. It's so good. Look what you started. I mean, I did post a meme in Discord this morning that said Fridays were feral. So it does make sense. The lemon, that's gonna go so good with the pork and the potato. Maybe it is a little bit Mediterranean now. We added lemon, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it. You wanna leave it in there? No, maybe we'll take it out into a container. Dr. Bonzo, thanks for the follow. Never fight with Italian bread. It'll what? Take the focaccia out of you? Oh, this lid has a hole. I wish I was someone that remembered jokes like that. There's no way I could remember these jokes. I'd have to look them up every single time. You know those people that just have like this mass joke library in their brain? How is that possible? We want all of this into the container, Kate, not on the side. I would like it a little bit smoother, but I would not really... And there's a... The heck? Is that a whole carrot? How is that even possible? But yeah, unless we had more in the blender, that just wasn't gonna be happening. Give that a rinse so it doesn't get all sticky, because carrots are sweet. Yeah, time for a new blender. This one, gonzo. Let's get rid of this. No longer needed. Same with this. We haven't made too much dishes though today, I will say that. On the dish front, not that much. A Cuisinart blender? Nah, that's a Vitamix. I've had that blender for, I said earlier, 10 years actually now. Vitamix Pro 750, if you guys were wondering. And yeah, there's no way it's near its end of its life. Alright, how is this baby looking? 10 years for sure worth it. It was like a little bit pricey when we first bought it, but I would say it's for sure paid itself off. Yeah, Trev, when I was going through my big like braising and or casserole phase on stream, those meals are so easy. Guys, we're still only at like 120, but it's so close. I'm only gonna go to 140. It was 128. I can't wait any longer. I don't want to. That's 130 after resting. It is. Also, I do know that this oven cooks cold. Like, I just followed the 325, but I probably should have went more like 345. I always turn it up about 20 degrees higher. It just sucks. I don't know what to say. I don't know if it's broken a bit or what. But out of every other oven I've used to do streams, this one, she has issues. Medium rare is a pork, or yeah, sorry, medium rare pork is a thing now. It is. We have to get past the old thoughts of always having things cooked well done, right? Okay, I'm only gonna do another 5 minutes on that. That's it. Did they completely change the guidelines now? I mean, yeah, let's put it this way. In culinary school, we are taught kind of two ways at the same time. We are taught by the book that the instructor has to follow so that we can pass the test, both Journeyman and Red Seal, at the end of the program, because they test on the book. But in reality, the temperatures and stuff that they teach you in the book are so outdated. I mean, I guess this was like 10 years ago. I don't know if the book's been revised. But yeah, they would teach us the proper temps and timings to not follow through the book so that you actually cooked good food. Because yeah, if you followed by the book and like cooked everything well done to 165, everything would be so dry. So dry. So I always thought that was pretty funny. It's like, okay, you have to know this for the test, but this is actually what you should do. And that also says like how good my instructor was, because they don't have to do that, right? They can just teach by the book and that's it. They're done their job. So yeah, it's pretty, I'm excited. I'm gonna start making up my menu. I am being featured for an alumni dinner at my culinary school. So I graduated from there 12 years ago, and I get to create a 3-course menu that I cook with the students, and then that raises money for the culinary program. I don't get anything from it, but I'm just there for inspiration for the students and to create awesome food, right? Yeah, I haven't decided yet what I want to make, but it's in November, so I do have some time, but time goes quick, right? I don't want to leave it to the last minute. Okay, so we will, my 5 minutes to push it to 135 is gonna be perfect then. And then we'll rest it for a little bit of time. It's pretty nice and cool in here, so we won't have to rest it for very long. Just so it doesn't get cooled off. But your article, it still says Trev. Like for poultry, they still say 165 Fahrenheit. Oh, sorry, it was only ground. It was ground. So yeah, whole meats, you can go a little bit lower, right? Because anytime you grind meat, if you do it yourself, I don't ever find a problem. As long as you follow all of the food safety rules when you grind your own meat. But whenever you get ground meat from a store that's coming from many animals, you don't know where it came from, you don't know who ground it, all those sort of things. So that's why you always want to go well done. Cook it till it stops screaming, Proxima. That's always my favorite. When you ask someone, okay, so like, how long do I cook this for? And they just say, oh, cook it till it's done. Like, what does that even mean? 180? You don't have to go that high. Yeah, if you hit 165 Fahrenheit, you're good. You're good. And then we can also talk about, okay, barbecue foods while we're waiting is when we cook a brisket, pork shoulder, stuff like that, we push the internal temperature to 205 Fahrenheit. And at that temp, because you've done it at such a low temperature as well over an extended period of time, it's not gonna be dried out. It will be fully cooked, but it's gonna be like almost falling apart in your mouth. Low and slow. Yeah, I will say bone-in chicken, especially legs, is where sometimes we've ran into issues, even if we've cooked it to 165 or further. Sometimes just with how the chicken was butchered, it can be a little bit bloody and pink still, and that will freak people out. So yeah, there's been times when we were up at camp that we had to push our drums specifically to like 185, 190, just to get the blood to stop running out of them, which was nuts. Yeah, in Asia, chicken sashimi is a thing. I don't know if I could do it. I would try it once for sure, just because I believe in trying something once. And then you can make up your mind after that. But the texture, it's the texture thing. Guys, Misha's here. She made it. Hi, Mishi, and thank you very much. Oh, you're almost at 4 years too. What? 46 months in a row. I hope you're doing good. Palooza, raw chicken, not an appealing texture. I don't think so. Like, ugh, I can't imagine biting through it. Everyone hide. Ah! That would have been me earlier when we set off the smoke alarm. I mean, no, I didn't. I would never do that. Trev. Well, we wouldn't be eating the chicken sashimi in North America. You'd be eating it in Japan, where it's prepared properly by someone who knows what they're doing. Yucko. Who has steak rare? I don't love rare steak. It has to be not chewy. Because I find sometimes when you try to eat rare steak, it kind of like is hard to eat and gets stringy. But I love steak tartare. I will fox with that any day. I'm going to grab our slicing knife and the carving fork. So we're almost there. Mish, the pork looks so dang good. I'm really excited. Did we eat the feta yet? Yes. But not the pork. We ate the feta in the filling that we had left over. You like medium rare for steak? Me too. And sometimes I'll even push it to medium, like a ribeye that's pretty fatty, so you can render out some of that fat so it's not too chewy. But that's a maximum for sure, is medium. Michael likes a medium rare shake. Ooh, what flavor? What? Oh my gosh. Bob. It's too funny. Okay, it's time. Let's go to the cutting board for you guys. Why is it so dang dark in here? Like, who turned out the lights? This is crazy. Gotta blind myself just to finish stream. You had a medium ribeye that was bigger than your head? Let's go. That sounds amazing. I remember when my dad and uncle ordered a tomahawk. Whew! Listen to that. Listen to this goodness sizzling. Gonna pop this over here. Thanks, Mish, for the 1 bitly. Unevening it up. That's what you had to eat yesterday? Oh, yum. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Actually, I gotta stab it first out of safety reasons of where I placed this precarious pan. Boop. Boop. Whoa. Do you see that? The juices are running. Hopefully not away. Now, we rest. Couple moments, I'll turn the oven off. Peek at those taters. Nice, almost all of the stock is now absorbed. Look at those. Cookie. $19.99, we're going back in time. Thank you for the bitlies, Cookie. Oh no, it's gonna be a war, isn't it? Got a pork tendy lurking in the fridge? Bro was cooking while you were sleeping? That's the best feeling ever. Like falling asleep while you know food's being cooked and then being woken up and the food is ready? The best. I can understand why Sam falls asleep while I'm streaming a lot. It's hard not to. It's like the sounds of people cooking. It'll put you right to bed. Yeah, maybe it's the smell's the only thing, right? It'll wake you up. It's like wafting a treat in front of a dog's nose when they're having a nap. Okay, while we're waiting, I'm gonna start taking the string off. Where's my kitchen shears? I gotta go grab the other ones. Wait, there is none. I don't know if these ones will work. We can try. We used them all. This looks like it shrank quite a bit too, though. Trev, you just said that. That's hilarious. Maybe more like 20%? And there's not like there's that much juice is even in the pan. Thank you, Bob, for the 68 bitlies. Okay, so just gently. We don't want to mess up the crust too bad. Oh yeah, I forgot I did the fancy one. The fancy tie. It smells insane, I will say that, as it's sitting here. I'm really salivating. And so one thing that we did extra, apart from the recipe today, is what I had a lot of basil left in the fridge from the farmer's market, and they were huge leaves. So before we put the stuffing of the feta, spinach, onion, garlic, we lined the entire butterflied pork piece with basil leaves. You can kind of just see it peeking out there. And then we put all the filling on top and rolled it. I'm getting a little bit of the basil smell right now, and wowie. It's resting out really nice. There's not too much juices running out of it. But that's why you don't cut it right away, right? Because then the juices will start running. There's a little bit up here, just from me moving it around. But that is it. Not bad at all. And hopefully it stays together now. Maybe we shouldn't have untied it all. Let's see. Roommate went somewhere. I don't know where he left, but I think he's out of here next week back to work. And then Sambo's not home till the end of the month. He's doing a pretty long stint this time. How much longer should we wait? Get those juices back over to the pork. Soak it up. But yeah, I should have a couple weeks to myself, which I'm excited for. I'm hungry. I don't know. I've got my hunger back. Like I said, I didn't really have too big of an appetite earlier this week, but today I am so ready for this. Yeah, well, he left when? Like, what, last Thursday Sam left. So if he does the 4 weeks, then yeah, it will be the second last week of May. If he does 3 weeks, though, it will be sooner, right? Middle of May. So let's see. Sometimes they need him to stay extra, other times they don't. Actually, something really scary happened up in one of the communities where we have worked with some of the people. So it's the dad and then the 2 sons. They went out hunting like 4 days before they were supposed to go back up to work, and they didn't come back at all. And like when you're out in the tundra like that, everything's just white, right? So you could get lost really easily. But they have found the 2 sons. This was yesterday morning because they had to send out search and rescue. After 14 days, that's it, by the way, and we're on day 10. So they found the 2 sons, but they have not found Albert yet, which is like someone that worked really closely with Sam. So it's really scary, guys. Like, we are like really concerned. I don't know what happened, if they broke down on their skidoo or something like that. But like, holy shit. It's really scary. Mish. We all know Kate is not good with dates. Me posting April's schedule yesterday in Discord, my god. Was like, what is wrong with my brain? I was having the best day ever. I was like, yeah, did all my stuff. And then I seen that. Yeah, the skidoo. Do you carry flare kit with you up there? I don't know what they do. Like, I know that they usually hunt around the same hunting grounds all the time. So yeah, I don't know what happened. But as far as like being on site goes, you're not allowed to go anywhere around site unless you got permission from safety and you have a radio on you as well as a buddy. That was always the rules. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, we're letting it rest. I think I want to cut into it now though, guys. I'm ready. I'll build the rest of the plate first, and then we'll slice it. Look at how dark it is in here. The clouds just keep building up more and more. Like, hello? Who turned out the lights? Guess we'll go this way, actually. Okay, so base, I'm gonna do a bit of this carrot puree. You don't need to do a lot unless you really like it. And you can always put more on afterwards as well. I think it's gonna be good, guys. I'm like worried that there's gonna be another whole carrot in here somehow. So you can either do like swirl the whole plate and just make a base, which I think I actually want to do, or you could just do like one swipe with the spoon. But I think we'll do this. And see how it works. It's okay if you see through it a little bit. Like that. That turned out better than I thought it would. Our potatoes. Nice, I still got my tongs here. I'm gonna do 3 pieces of potato. Do we want it sticking up this way? I kind of want to turn it the other way. I don't know. We'll see how it looks on the camera, I guess. Actually massive pieces though. Okay, I'm gonna go smaller. And then we'll put the pork like right in the middle. I also have a little bit of juice here in the potato pan if we want to pour that at the end over top of everything, because that probably tastes insane. Michael needs work on incorporating the feta. I thought he did pretty good. What side do I want to slice it from? I don't know. This one kind of looks more even. I'm just gonna even up the end. So more sawing action back and forth rather than pushing hard down on the meat. How is this gonna be? Oh, look at that. Can't really see it. I'll move this over a bit. I'm gonna go pretty big chunk. Yeah, I think I want to show the other side because it looks nicer. Look. It's so juicy. It's like shining. I'm sorry, but I have to. I don't even care. Holy shit. That's insane, you guys. Wow. Yeah, I'm ready for that. Okay, I just want to pour. Are these all gonna fall? Hold on, baby. A little bit, just to have it flow over into the carrot. Alright, I'm grabbing my phono for the photo. That might be some of the best pork I've ever made, guys. I don't even know what to say. Yeah. Just crush it. We actually did so good today. The fact that we already have our dough made for tomorrow. Which I'm very excited for. I gotta pull this closer to where the light is. Give me one sec. The darkness has come upon us. Thank you, Hudas. Okay, now let's try it. The taste of the filling with the pork is wild. We really did good on that one. I never got any of the pork with like the rub on it though. I only got that one end piece. How do you even eat this? You just cut it in half? Like, look how tender that is too. Because I've had some quite dry pork loins in my life, let me tell you. There was probably a while where I didn't really even like pork. Because you just had so much dry pork for forever. Low and slow. I'm gonna eat it with some carrot. That's a deadly looking bite. Yeah, you don't need this knife. I probably would be okay with a butter knife. Thank you, Happy, for the 200 bitlies. This is insane, you guys. This is one of the best things I've made in a while. Like, me oh my. Okay, so what did we learn today? Take your pork roast out at 135. Let it rest for about 10 minutes. Then we have this beautiful unctuous meat. That's a basil leaf that I'm gonna eat with it. So we rolled the basil leaf first before the filling. Okay, we gotta try this too. Look at that. Like mashed potato inside. I'm not gonna go too big of a bite 'cause it's really hot. Deep fried chicken cordon bleu. I could fox with that. Cordon bleu with feta even. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Okay, it's a little bit dry, the potato inside, I will say. For like how much broth and stuff we put in there, the extra butter. Not like dry that it's gonna make you like kind of choke, but it definitely, I'm glad I have a little bit of sauce or something. It's probably awesome with the pork though. Eat the pork with the potato. Mmm. Thanks, Tony. I'm really happy with how this turned out today. Kind of a random dish that I just came up with on my own. It was like, what do I have in the house that I can use up? And I knew that the pork was on sale. And then just used up the spinach and feta that I already had in the fridge. Mm-mm. Eat the potato with the pork, it just melts in your mouth. That's a yep from me all around. And then quickly, let's just peek. I don't think she really rose at all yet. So I'll have to bring that into a warmer area. Or just make a little proofing chamber in the oven. Just because we got all the windows open right now. It's super nice outside. I know I've been eating a lot on stream lately. Even last Sunday. I almost ate the whole breakfast that I made. I can turn these down now. Don't need to blind myself anymore. We're back, baby. Okay, who are we gonna go raid? This was a longer Friday. Star Wars prep. Oh yeah, it is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. We're not celebrating Star Wars Day tomorrow, guys. Just because I know there's like a ton of other streamers that will be doing that, and that's just not really what we do here. I guess we could have built the Chewbacca Lego if we wanted. What else we got going on though? Excuse me. I don't know where to go raid. You wanna go raid Kanara since she was in with us last week? I think so. Let's do that. Whoa, my knife just flew into the sink. Careful. Okay, we're gonna go raid Kanara. Does game day just mean she's playing games, I'm assuming? There's not like a sporting game that's happening, right? Boop, boop, boop. That little honk was for us to end the stream. Let's do this, guys. Okay, let's go see what Kanara is playing. I will be live again tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific. We are crossing off a menu redemption for Fortitude 2. I'm not sure if she's gonna be around tomorrow, but I needed to start crossing these off of the list, and she said it was okay. So we're gonna grind up the tri-tip tomorrow and make a South African dish called baboti. It's like a, think like ground beef, rice, casserole, baked with a sort of egg spiced custard with it. I've made it before and it's actually really delicious, even though it sounds weird. And then of course our sourdough cinnamon rolls we will finish as well. So thanks guys for being here with me today. Seeing it through. My headache is seriously gone now, so that's like magical. Thank you guys for doing that for me as well. Thanks for all of the bits. We're now at 73% of the way through our goal for the sewing machine. And we will be making a blanket together on stream for Sam to take up to work for him. And he'll just keep it there and he'll be able to use it for his bedding. And thanks for all the resubs today as well, guys, and the gifted subbies. Hey, we're running out of time. Let's go see Kanara. Love y'all, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye!